Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sana IE. I'm your host, XO. And today, this is a very special day because I have an interview for you guys. And this interview is mind-blowing. This interview, we talk about life. We talk about career. We talk about fashion. We talk about mental health, financial literacy. We talk about family. And we also talk about having an emotional purge. I know you're thinking like, an emotional purge? What's that? Or some people might know what it is. But we're going to get deeper into that as the show goes on. And let's first start off with my quotes of the day. My first quote is, consistency is a skill many people sadly lack. Keep it up. Consistency. What is something that you want to stay consistent at that you haven't been consistent at? That you've been taking days off, or you've been really just putting it on the back burner, or you've been like, oh, I can do it tomorrow, or something like that, where you're like, oh, I'll start Monday, or I'll start next week, or I'll start then. But it's like, why push off tomorrow what you do today? And that goes like hand in hand. Like, we all like to say, oh, we'll do it tomorrow, or it's like, why? Why not do it now? Consistency is a skill many people lack. So what are you trying to stay consistent in that you're lacking right now? Anything that you're lacking that you want to stay consistent in, start disciplining yourself. Turn over a new leaf. We're about to hit enter. We're in October. I said about to enter. We're in October. It's a whole new month. It's the last quarter of the year. Fourth quarter. How do you want to finish this year off strong? What do you want to stay consistent at from October to December? Fuck it, October to next October. What do you want to stay consistent at to pick up that traction along the way? Because consistency, we all lack consistency. I'm inconsistent when it comes to certain things, but it's ourselves who we have to tell ourselves like, yo, we haven't been consistent at this, but we've been trying to stay consistent all month or all year. We've been trying to do it, but we keep falling off track, falling off track. And it's like, let's focus on staying consistent for this month, the month of October. Stay consistent at whatever you want to do, whether it's going to the gym, saving money, creating a budget, sticking to a morning routine, a daily routine, working on your finances, working on your mental health, staying consistent with that, but taking it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time, because that's what it comes down to. Take one day at a time. There will be days where you don't feel like doing what you want to do. And those days is when you should do it, because you'll feel 10 times better. I know from personal experience. Today I was like, I don't want to go to the gym. My bed feels so comfortable right now. I don't want to get up. But it's like, you're breaking that cycle. I was reading this book. Oh, my favorite book, Atomic Habits. And it discusses like never miss twice. So you can miss that one day, but never miss twice. That's what it really comes down to. So you can miss that one, but once you miss that first day, you're back on track. So never miss twice. Always remember that and stay consistent. My second quote is, start doing something, you'll continue. Why? Because motivation doesn't cause action. Action causes motivation. And I feel like that's a run-on quote with the first quote. Start doing something, you'll continue. That talks about consistency. Talking about that action, doing that action. Start doing something, you'll continue because action causes motivation. Excuse me. That goes back to the gym. Me want to stay in bed, not want to get up, not wanting to go this morning. But I knew as soon as I touch that gym floor, I'm a different person. I'm a different animal. It's go time, because I know what I'm here. I'm here for a purpose. I'm not here just to bullshit around. So that action caused the motivation to work out. So start doing something, you'll continue. Why? Because motivation doesn't cause action. Action causes motivation. And now to my very special guest. My guest is an African-American Black female artist and designer living and working in LA. She was born in San Diego, shout out to Dago, but raised in SoCal. Her educational backgrounds include an AA in business admin with a focus in marketing from Los Angeles College. She also has a certificate in graphic design. She also received her Bachelors of Fine Arts from the University of Irvine, specializing in painting. Her artwork has been featured in 5 gallery exhibits to date in both Orange County and Los Angeles County. She has had graphic design placements for local owned black owned businesses. Yet, although art in all forms is her passionate work, her heart has been in fashion. Excuse me, forgive me for that. Her heart has been in fashion to create designs that would reach the masses since 2010. So, my guest today, Lawren Els Marie, has a brand, a clothing line, a brand that she launched. It's called LS by LM. She launched it in her official debut line as a designer and owner. It's a Los Angeles made brand based on women's wear and unisex pieces showcased in limited edition themed capsule collections. So without further ado, help me introduce my guest, Lawren Els Marie. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. It's Wednesday, right? So
yeah.
That's my favorite day of the week. So we're good. It's always good. Make it to the middle.
Oh, that's facts. It's hump day. Like, man, 2 more days to the weekend. So
Exactly. How are you doing?
I'm good. Can't complain. Fresh off the gym, I'm ready to do this interview. Mike finally got you on the mic.
Right.
I'm
I'm super excited. I'm like nervous, but I'm like, this is gonna be cool. So
same too. Because I was like, that's why I was like, oh, let me get a little 5 or 10 minutes. I was like, why do this? I'm like, I think before every interview, I get nervous and the jitters, and I'm like, all right, I gotta listen to some songs to get me hype and everything. Let me drink some water to calm down because my nerves is like, what the hell? But I'm like, fuck it, let's do it.
I guess you just don't know how it's gonna go. So it's just, hey, just roll the dice and hope it goes smooth.
That's true too.
I said a little prayer for both of us before we got started, so we should be good.
Appreciate you. It's gonna be a great interview then.
All right.
How's the year been for you?
You know, I talk with my hands, so I'm like, it's just natural.
Yeah.
The year has actually been really good. You know, obviously there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on, you know, in the external of me, but you know, with like, that's funny. I don't want to quote this, but at my church service, there's a saying. It's called chaos and harmony. So it's just kind of like everything could be going crazy, but sometimes it gives you a space to kind of like regroup yourself and like you kind of learn a little bit about yourself and you're more willing to kind of take risks because things are crazy anyway. So it just kind of grounds you into like a reality. So that's kind of how I've been taking advantage of it. And I don't know, I've been feeling like really excited about this year. Just because it's like a lead up to next year, I'll be turning 30. So, and I feel really good about it. I don't know what's about to go down, but I feel like it's something. So, you know, that's my like long version. But yeah, that's I feel about this year.
Most definitely, I get you. I like that how you said like chaos and harmony because that's how you have to handle it. Because life gets chaotic sometimes, and especially with everything that's going on right now with the pandemic and stuff like that, it's like everything's chaotic around you, but you have to find that peace, find that serenity within yourself, and not let the chaos on the outside really pull you down or hold you down. You knowing like, yo, I've got to do something. I got to take some risks now because everything is chaotic and crazy around me. So I got to take more risk in life when it comes to doing what I want to do because it's like you never know. But I love that chaos and harmony. That I'm gonna keep that one.
Yeah, no. Shout out to Revelation Church. Good.
Yeah.
Shout
out to them.
Shout out to them. That was a quote. I don't want to take that. It's not my credit.
Most definitely. Shameless plug. What's the most important lesson you learned this year?
Honestly, this year, the most important lesson I learned was kind of like, I guess it's really just like really betting on yourself. Like I think I've always believed in betting on yourself, but I think sometimes we take that and we apply it in spaces where it's not really like you're not truly challenging yourself. Like most people who know me like personally, They know that like I work hard, like, I've had different jobs and stuff, and I'll be the, top person. But that's not really betting on yourself. That's like a small fraction of who you are in comparison to like you deep down knowing your purpose. So I think it's just kind of like taking all that evidence, taking all that experience, and really saying like, I'm gonna just do it. Like, you feel me? Like, I think that's what it really clicked for me, because I don't know, like I've just made so many other places um successful or contributed to their success, to where it's like the question really prompted, why not you? So, or why not
Mm,
me?
I love
So
that.
like, actually, like making the real bet, not like the, penny slot machine, like putting the the coins down, like put it on black, like, and just go.
I got you. And that's true too, because you gotta I love that lesson, because it's like you do have to bet on yourself and really trust yourself. Like you said, you've been working with different companies and really building up their success, but I know, like like you said, deep down inside you, you're like, is this really my purpose, or is there something more to life, more to this, versus me just helping somebody else get rich, somebody else fulfilling their dreams? It's like I still have dreams myself that I want to accomplish, and I'm not getting any younger, so I have to really take a step back and analyze everything and really bet on myself instead of playing the penny slots, going to the crap tables and like, yo, I'm gonna shoot this, and I'm gonna just have faith and believe that, yo, I'm betting on myself, and I will progress, and
Right.
success will happen for me.
Yeah, no, that it's exactly that. And it's such a trip, because like when you finally do it, you can like really reflect, and those moments where it was kind of like you weren't supposed to be there. Like, there's a whole bunch of people that I know have their own purpose and their own talents, but they're kind of like playing small, which is part of the lesson, is part of the development. Like, you kind of have that to get to that place of discomfort, to where you really realize like you don't belong in a space. Like, just because you're good at something doesn't mean it's your purpose. um
Mm,
because it's just like, you know what I mean, like if you're a 100% person, and this job only requires you to use 15% of your energy, it's not, you know what I mean, like you won't fit there. And then you'll notice like your managers, like you'll do everything above everybody else, but the manager won't promote you. They'll promote the other person who do like half of what you could do.
mm,
And a lot of people take that as a prompt to like go harder, like, oh, I'm gonna prove it. But it's really supposed to be evidence of like, they don't want you here because you bigger than that.
mm-hmm.
You you
Amen.
you disrupt the structure, because there's certain types of people for certain types of places. And it's like really your responsibility to figure out where you fit, because they all serve a purpose. You know what I mean? You might be an ocean, and you at an office that's full of lakes. Like, you won't fit there. You'll drown everybody. And they don't want to have that. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want that
Talk your
discomfort.
shit.
But it's true. And I really like grasp that lesson, really starting in 2020, because like I just had like a full burnout, and I was just like, real, I cannot get myself up to do no type of clock in, no type of sales call, anything. But it was because
Man,
I had exhausted my own gifts on things that weren't in my purpose. So it could never feed me back.
damn, I love that. And that's
Sorry,
so
I could,
true too, because it's like,
like, you even got an introvert on the call. Like, I'm like, all I
I'm
do is
like,
sit in the corner and think.
that's crazy. I love how you put that ocean and lakes, and it's like you don't fit and you belong. It's like we have, when it comes to certain jobs, we have expiration dates. Like there's expiration date on it. Like the energy starts shifting to where you got to get out, but you don't sense it until, like you said, somebody else gets promoted over you after you been putting in 110% for the company, and the other person's only putting in 50%, but they got promoted over you just because they know so and so, or just because they seem like a better fit, but you're just the harder worker. So it just starts resonating with you like, damn, I shouldn't even be here any longer. But you don't have, some people don't have that plan or way of an escape to get out, that they like, damn, I just got to stay here and suck it up. And like you said, they'll be like, fuck it, I got to go harder and show them that I can do this and that I am willing to get promoted. But it's like, your calling is not there, your purpose is not there. There's something else in life that's calling you that you know is there, but you've been blind to it because you've been so focused on this job, exerting your energy here, that purpose and calling keeps coming to you, but it keeps passing you by. Like you're in a I want to say a merry-go-round.
Right.
So it's like you got to keep your eyes open and be aware of the signs around you, because it's always signs that point you out in the right direction, but we're sometimes oblivious to them.
Yeah. And then, just sometimes it's just, um, just as I'm getting older, I'm really just realizing like just everybody gets their lessons in their time. You know what I mean? So it's just it. For example, like if you're a visual learner, right? And I'm just talking to you over and over and over and over, like it's not gonna matter. It's gonna take that time that somebody comes up with that whiteboard and is like, okay, look at this, boom, 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 and it's gonna click, even though you've been hearing it for 5 years, 6 months, 2 weeks straight. But it's
Hmm.
because it wasn't meant for you to get it in that time. So it's just like you need to be able to see those things, because when you do take the step out, when you build the confidence, when you start to like lay your foundations for what your purpose is, those things really help drive you to keep going, because you're like, I remember I used to do this. I remember I used to play small, and like that storyline is what's so significant, because people need to understand journeys. So when you get to your place, it's not just like, oh yeah, like I just popped up here and I've known all my life. Like, no, we all need to be able to share our experiences so that we can be like, hey, look, I feel you. I've been there, but here's what I did. Yours might have a little remix to it, but it's going to look just like this, because that's the path, that's the journey. But you need the
Hmm.
like realization part. Otherwise, it don't matter.
Facts, man. I love that. I'm gonna just end it right there because I'm like, you you hit on some key points, and I'm gonna just like, let me go to the next question because I love that though, because all that is real. I love. See, it's a good ass interview so far. Do you feel like the pandemic helped or hindered your growth?
Um, it really helped me. It really did. Honestly, I really realized that I had become someone who attached work to my value.
Mm,
So like if people didn't talk to me about work, I was like, why would you not? I'm like looking at people like, why are you not asking me what I do? Like, oh yeah, I've accomplished it. Like, I was ready to give like a resume if someone asked me the
mm-hmm.
question. But um I ended up like encountering some people who just simply just didn't care. Like they never asked me, and it confused me because I was like, this is what everyone does. Everyone walks up to you and says, hey, like, what do you do? What's this? Like, it was just like, okay, like I can see what you do. Like what you do is nothing. And like for me not to like grasp that very simple concept or let that get away from me was so jarring. Like, how did I let myself get this far away from, like, that's like my motto, like you're your own self. You're not like anyone else, you're individual, you're unique. And I forgot, so I really had to like deal with a lot of stuff that I had like pushed to the side because I just tunnel vision myself to work. So I was like stunning my own self development. So I was just like, all right, well, let's just do the the nitty gritty work, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie. Like the beginning of 2020, like through that first summer, it was just like me with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to address some really hard, life things that we never addressed, that we never sought out. But it was necessary because if I was going to go into my purpose, I needed to make sure that I was my best self, because if anything came that was bigger than what I had the strength to hold, it would defeat the whole purpose of me, taking that chance. So yeah, it was rough. Like, I'm not like, I don't want to glamorize it. Like, it was some real ugly work. Like, I took myself to Cabo because I hadn't been on a trip in like years. But like, I want to say there was like a good 2 days I went in the little cabana and I just cried on the beach because I just needed to do like that purge. Like, woo, because
Yeah, let them emotions out, because you, like you say, you had so many built up emotions where your worth was attached to your work, and you started realizing like, no, that's not my value. My value is worth more than that. It's just I've been so, like you said, tunnel driven into just work, do the work, do the work, do the work, do the work, and my value will rise as I do the work. But eventually, you started to find out like, damn, my value is still the same. Matter of fact, my value is lowering because I feel in my on the inside myself like myself is my value, but I've attached my value to my work, and I've been working so much that I've been draining my energy. I have so much built up emotion. I didn't have the time to really decompress or have that emotional purge, like you said.
right, and you just carry it, and I think that's I think it's part of like, like upbringing and things like that, just having a very like survival drive where you're like, I got to get this, I got to elevate, I got to by any means. But I think sometimes we really get distracted by the material representation of success, that we don't really acknowledge the emotional and mental work that really comes with developing yourself to be the best version, or even just a good person of character. Like, it takes a lot to do what's right. And you kind of got to give yourself that space of like, okay, whew, that was hard, but like, let me breathe for a minute. That whole self-care.
Hmm.
But I'm happy like so many people had this opportunity through the pandemic, even though I know it's rough for a lot of people to sit with themselves, but I just pray that they really have the realization of how much it really heals them on the inside.
Exactly. And I think it was like partially it was part needed so people can come to the realization and come to terms with themselves, as well as terms with how their life is going or what they've been going through up to these terms. Like everything was shut down. So you really only have that time to be with yourself and think with yourself and have your thoughts, and really comes to the conclusion of different things and come to realize certain stuff. If you headed down the right path, if you headed down the wrong path, like where your life is headed. So I
Right.
think it helped and hindered some people. It's like half and half. It's like 50-50.
Yeah, but I also think like even those who got hindered for it, it's just a it's just a delayed lesson. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because the hindrance challenges you. The like that's kind of like the chaos part. Like, the chaos is what makes you feel so uncomfortable that you have to find resolve because you don't have peace. So inevitably you still get the solution. It just may take you a little longer, but it's on the way.
That's true. That is true. What do you feel like your purpose is right now?
I think right now, like to date, is really just building the foundations of who I am and like what impact do I want to have. I really think, me launching this business, or the clothing line, like this is the first time that I got to come out the way that I wanted to, like a full manufacturer, the full production, and at the quality level that I was seeking for. And I've always felt like, because of my life and my background and like just different experiences that I've had, and how I intersect with people through the conversations, um, I think that it's always been meant for me to create a platform so that I can reach more people and have these kind of conversations of self and struggle and overcoming, and being actual help to people who need it, who have a similar story to me. So that's kind of like what I'm looking forward to. I know I'm not quite there yet, but it feels right.
Most definitely. And you're right too, because I feel like everybody has a certain purpose in life. And your purpose is feeling like you're a life coach. You're helping people go through their trials and tribulations, their hard times. Like we all have testimonies and we all got tested through life. And it's like we have to utilize ourselves. Like you say, I'm utilize my purpose. I had an emotional purge at the beginning of last year, and now I know how to handle myself and better myself when it comes to people and when they come to me with these, because it's like we all deal with different things mentally on a mental
Right.
basis, especially how life is. Life is chaotic at times, and you got to have find that harmony in it. And it's like you helping people day by day any way you can, just being there open, having the conversation about it, saying like, yo, it's okay to have that conversations and open up about how you feeling and what you feeling. Don't keep that inside, because eventually you'll have that emotional purge. But who knows when you have it. You was blessed enough to really go sit on a beach and really have that emotional purge versus being somewhere else where it wasn't no sunlight, no beach. And once you had that purge, you woke up and was like, I'm blessed because where I'm at right now and what I've accomplished so far.
Yeah, no, and it's so true. I just I think it's really cool, like, because to a degree the fashion really aligns with it, because the feeling that I want people to have and evoke within themselves is kind of similar to when you have like a really good outfit on, like, you know what I mean, you look good, you feel good, and it's like really for you to be able to like have a style and a look that's like a head turner, you have to know your body type, you have to know your shape, you have to know how to dress it. It's very individual based, even if it's the same trend. And I kind of feel that way about life. Like, yes, we're all going to have relationships, we're all going to have friendships, we're all going to have intersections just with people, but how how people feel you and embrace you is very individual based, because how you talk is not how this other person talks. Like, we're all very one of a kind, but we live life in these generalities. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So we're all doing the same thing, but with our own little twists.
Yeah.
And I think that's what is most beautiful about just being a person, being in the world. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Because it's like we all are one of a kind in our own ways, even though some people trying to mimic or imitate others, but it's like you are one of a kind. God made you in this way for a reason. He made you different from everybody else, and you have to utilize what's different about you and figure out what your purpose is or what helps you out. Like you said, when it comes to clothes or fashion, fashion pieces, they fit differently on different bodies, and it's like you got to know your body type, your body style, what feels good on you, what doesn't feel good, what makes you feel good, and everything. So I feel you.
it's a long way to get there, but it's the same concept.
Most definitely. How was your childhood growing up?
It was really good. I well, aside from just different situations, but I grew up in a single parent home. So I have my mom and I have three brothers, and I'm the second oldest of four. So it was definitely unique. I had certain responsibilities. Really, my mom made us all really responsible for each other. So I really had like good, like, team values, partner values, loyalty, you know what I mean, support. Like, we just really rode for each other.
Yeah, I love that.
And it was all very transparent. My mom, she's been a cosmetologist since like the late 80s. So I was definitely a salon baby, you know. So I used to do my homework, like clock out from school, go in the back room. That's where we hung out. Um, so it was definitely different because there were things I had to be aware of for our family system to work. But I really have a high respect for my mom because she never let us just live anywhere. I definitely have been, the person that used the her friend's address so that I could go to the better school, or the address of the salon. And because of that, I really had exposure to a lot of things that people who would have a similar upbringing to me didn't.
Mm,
So, if I got to do ballet, it might have been for 3 months because, that person became her client, but I got to do ballet. Then I got to
yeah.
do tap. Then I got to go to museums, beaches, and travel. I had the best, like, programs. I did like all the advanced, learning, anything. Like, if it was on a scholarship, I was there ready to work. And it really just helped me understand like the value of good relationships and like character. Like there's always an exception. Like I really don't believe in no. Like I say it to people because my no is actually a no, but 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 also like when you really want something, it's really just there's a way for you to get it. And I really encourage people to, if there's something that you really value, they'll make an exception for you. They'll make a way for you to get it. Like don't limit yourself. Like let someone tell you no, because all of the stuff that I got to do as a kid, you would never think my home life was what it was. You know, you would easily think I grew up in, you know, a 4-bedroom home with 2 parents and a dog, you know what I mean? Like white picket fence.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can say that I lived in a house in my youth, maybe for 2 years. But aside from that, I grew up in an apartment, and I didn't have my first, you know, room by myself till I was like in the 6th grade. So, you know what I mean? Like, you just never know, but it really didn't make a difference. I think that's really the point of what I'm trying to say is like, you know, whatever the circumstance is, there's a way for you to get to wherever you want to go. So, you
That's
know, if
facts.
you want to be the violinist, but nobody can afford no, you know, no instruments, there'll always be that one teacher who just has an extra violin that says, hey, don't tell anybody I gave you this, but you could use this to join the band. Like, because you'll be blessed in what your purpose is and your path is supposed to be. So,
Yeah.
I'm
Man.
sorry, I don't have a short answer for nothing. So
No,
just
I love the detail. You was like very detailed with your answer, and I love it. Like you said, I said, how was your childhood? And you literally explained it step by step. Like you grew up in a single parent home. You had uh three brothers, or 2 brothers and you, and
I had 3 brothers.
your see, 3 2. Uh, but
You had it right.
but and your mom was like a cosmetologist since the 80s, and you a salon baby, you were going back and forth, and you had the blessings to where you was able to experience having different life experiences, where it was ballet, where it was tap, where it was, if it was music, you were getting into music, but you had the opportunities because your mom had so many clients and clientele, and they was like, yo, you can use the address of the salon, and you use a friend's address to go to the better schools, and until you can experience that type of lifestyle. And that's a blessing that your mom put on you guys, as well as just letting you like know you, there's life is better than, even though pops ain't around or nothing like that, there's still good experiences, good times, and good things around. So
Yeah.
I love the detailed answer and whatnot. What is your favorite memory from your childhood?
Um, I'd have to say that well, I have 2, but I guess I'll go with the older one.
No, you say both. Say both.
Okay, so my first one, I'm definitely a nostalgic, sentimental person. So I was actually born in San Diego. But I think we only stayed there till I was like maybe 3 or 4. So I don't know. It was one morning, and my mom was home. She didn't have to work on the. If you have a hairstylist mom, you know, on the weekends, you'll see her on Sunday, Thursday through Saturday. She gone. She left at like 5 a.m. and she won't be back till like 11.
Man.
Yeah, them weaves ain't no joke. So shout out to everyone who had an extension. Y'all paid for a lot of my programs. Appreciate it. Um, but she happened to be home, and she made me a bowl of oatmeal, and she put raisins in it, but she made it into like a little smiley face. And I swear to you, everything I like is like oatmeal raisin something. Like my favorite cookie is oatmeal raisin. Like, and I think it's just the association to the memory. So I was like, all right, cool. So I don't know, that one just plays in my head. Like it's like one of those like small clips.
Yeah.
Like you just watch yourself as a kid, and I'm like, oh, that's so precious. And my second one, I was a teenager, um, and I want to say in high school, I moved from Rancho to Orange County. So I think it was my sophomore year. And to be fair, like that transition was so rough. It was definitely a culture shock, kind of difficult adjustment. But I was still singing then. So some girl who I hadn't met like the whole year, um, she knew someone that I probably knew like the 3 Black people that went to my school, and she was like the 4th one. So so I guess she was looking for singers because she wanted to do the talent show, and she played the guitar. So I randomly meet this girl, Sue Ellen. She still does music, and we do the talent show, just random. And I won. And I kid you not, like I hated every day going to this school, like the people, the staff. Like I was like little Angela Davis at the school. Like I spent so much time in the front office, like going in on things I felt were socially wrong. Um, so when I won the show, like obviously everyone, the staff and stuff all shifted to liking me for singing and all that stuff. I was like, ah, yeah, all right.
Fake
I'm like,
asses.
right. I'm like, y'all was talking to me like I was, they was trying to guess if I was from the inner city and I had a single parent, like the full stereotype. And I was like, I'm
That's
over this.
crazy.
It was crazy. But I got home, I think it was like the next day. And I don't know when my mom did this. And in this apartment, I still have my own room because my older brother, he was in college. And I came in my room, and my mom had went and picked up like all these cassette tapes, like VHS. I don't know where we was gonna play these, but it was like a bag of VHSs, a bag of like music books, and she bought me a keyboard because I won the talent show, and she was so excited to show me. Like I walked in the house, she was like, come on, come here, come. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on? I'm dry. I'm like, huh? And so she like, like she's like game show host. Like, so she opens the door like, like, look.
Look behind door number 1. That's funny.
But my mom is so cute like that. Like she will really, whatever you decide that you want to do, you could change it every week if you wanted to. But if you tell her, hey, this is what we doing, she's gonna go find everything that has to do with what you want to do.
Shout out to moms.
Right. She's just fired. But she was like, she found some old couple on Craigslist. So that's why everything was like in the bags and stuff. He was like, yeah, it was an old husband. And he said his late wife used to play this keyboard. And I didn't even know how to play the keyboard. I had like piano lessons, maybe like in the 2nd grade. And that was like for like a month. So I just know like where the keys are. Like I can name them. But boy, I was up there just pressing buttons. I still have it. It's under my bed. But I still don't know how to play.
That's crazy. It's a sacred memory, but to pull
I
it
can't,
out, blow the dust off of it.
I can't. I love surprises. That's the easiest way to get me. This a surprise. I'm like, for me, really?
You should have. That's funny.
It could have been 2 pencils. I'd be like, I remember she got me them 2 pencils that one
You out of
day.
pocket. That's so as a child, what was your dream? You like, why didn't you pursue cosmetology like your mom? Or singing?
I didn't like hair. Like she would have me like touch it. I definitely like, it took me a while to grow into being I don't even want to say like affectionate. I want to say touching people. Like I do not like being touched. I don't like touching people. So touching hair is like another tier. And then also when you grow up with a hairstylist, hair is everywhere. It's always hair. Like whether it's like it's a wig or it's a extension or it's a real person's hair, if it's your hair. So I just didn't really have like a touch for it. One, so like even when I do my own hair, so the only 2 people who do my hair is myself and my mom. I don't let anyone touch my hair. So like if I do my hair, it's okay, it's cool. But if my mom does my hair, like it's totally like night and day. Like I just, you like, you know what I mean? Like that's her thing. Like she could walk up to you and touch your hair and tell you what it needs.
Damn.
Like she is like a scientist of hair, and she can look at a hair product and tell you what chemicals is going to do what to your hair, Or if you want to dye your hair, she can tell you the color theory of what will subtract this color to get you to that color. Like that, it just wasn't my thing. I wasn't good at it.
Damn, I could have used her before I went bald.
Hey, look, let me know. I slide you over some products. She's coming out with a product line relatively soon. So
most definitely, I'm about to get on the show too.
Yeah, I slide you a pack. You test it out, then you can hit her up. That's my girl.
For sure. So, what was your dream though as a child then, since you didn't pursue that path?
So what's crazy is like as a kid, I used to just try stuff to see if I would find something I wasn't good at. Like, so I was just like do stuff for a week and I'd be like, okay, I'm good at that. So let me go see something else. But like my earliest, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I used to want okay, don't laugh at me, but also put some respect on my name because you know me. So I said that I wanted to be in the WNBA and I wanted to be Sheryl Swoops. I was like, I'm going to be the next Sheryl Swoops.
Love the dream.
Right? I mean, I used to just hoop every day. But yeah, it was short lived. I didn't get taller than 5'5", so it wasn't really looking optimistic for me. But I actually, what's funny is like when I was younger, I think I was like 6 or 7. I used to carry a spiral notebook and I used to draw clothes. So it's like I've always done things that are just creative based. I've been singing since I was like maybe 7, just like around friends and stuff. Because you know you trying to test it out. You be like doing a little note like that sound good, y'all. Like that's good. I'm good. Okay, cool. I used to do dance. So everything was just kind of like in a creative field, but I didn't really have a set direction until my senior year because I always felt challenged with like my desire to do something creative, but I also felt like, you know, my academic side was really strong and most of my teachers were like pushing me to be like a scientist or a lawyer, like one of those two. And I just like, you know, like I could see it because I was like, okay, cool. But it felt like it was missing something. So I just tried to find like, what's the balance of these two? And it just was funny as I remembered myself carrying that purple spiral notebook at my grandma's house. And I was like, oh, that'd be perfect because there is a challenge in it because it's very hard to be a successful fashion designer because it's really everyone makes clothes, like anyone and everyone can make clothes. So it's very oversaturated. I would compare it to like, you know, someone trying to break into like music industry. Like you just got to try, and if it sticks, it's for you, and if it don't stick, it ain't. Then you just kind of fall to a different part of the industry. But that was I don't know. I didn't have like like a commitment statement. Like the strongest statement I made was in 3rd grade when I said I'm B. Sheryl Swoops, and I had and my best friend from kindergarten, Nishay, she was super tall, so we had an agreement. She was gonna be Lisa Leslie, and I was gonna be Sheryl Swoops, and we was gonna lock down, the game.
That's so funny. For sure.
Planned out.
I like the plan y'all did. Like you said, like you'll be Sheryl Swoops and she'll be Lisa Leslie, and y'all had that plan until the reality hit with the height. You was like, I ain't gonna be tall enough.
Hey, but don't get twisted. If anyone was to hit the court, I'll still go. Like a lot of people sleep on me. I'm like, I was a real athlete. Don't play with me, okay?
Give them all the smoke. I feel you. Most definitely. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Honestly, I think for me, I would say to never play small. I've had moments where because of like my upbringing, because of really my personality is an acquired taste, I will say. I will say, sometimes you can kind of second guess that, or, people will come in and they want to mold you to their comfort level. And also when you are are set to do certain things, you can't really be around everybody. You can't do what everyone else does because it has different consequences for you. And I had a certain stage of life where I didn't want to hold that responsibility of like, oh, why do I have to be different? Why do I have to do this? Or, I'm looking at everybody chilling and vibe, and I'm like, I just want to chill and vibe. Like, but there's a reason why you're not supposed to do it. And I was, fortunate to be able to experience that lesson and not have the full loss of what my path is supposed to be. So I'm super grateful, to God for allowing me to be like, see, is this what you want? And then he let me slide back, because sometimes you don't get to slide back. Mm-hmm. So for me, that would be my greatest advice, is just, committing to, hey, if you're different, it's okay. Like, it's cool. Just be different and just own it. Yeah. And whoever's going to rock with you, they'll rock with you. Whether, and you don't really have to change your delivery too much. I definitely have grown up, from 14, 15-year-old me. Anyone who's known me in that phase know that was, as you know, a very raw version. But I just needed to grow up. You know what I mean? I needed to develop and understand, like, if you're a little peculiar, like, why is that? Because it serves a purpose. You're not like made to be different for no reason.
Mm-hmm. That's facts.
Man.
So if you're different, if you listen to this right now, when you're different from everybody else, you're different for a reason. Don't try to be like somebody else, or try to make your life like somebody else. You was created differently for a reason. Embrace that peculiar side of yourself. Don't just be like, oh, I'm different. I don't want to be different. No, accept yourself being different, because different people change the world.
Exactly. Don't ever play small.
Facts.
Take a space. Bust the door down. You in there.
If you had the chance to see the future, would you?
No, because I think it would. I think when you can see too far ahead, sometimes it makes you complacent, and then you'll miss what you're supposed to do. Like, you kind of need to not know, to move forward. You know what I mean? Like, faith is really, really a motivator, because you have to bet on yourself, because it I think it still goes back to those lessons. Like, see, when you step out here, because every chapter that you close, it deserves reflection. Mm-hmm. So you need to look at yourself and say, ooh, now that I know this, like, you know what I mean? Now that I've gotten to this destination, how did I hold myself up? Because you're learning how to trust yourself. You're learning how to be yourself and develop. And if you already know what the end goal is, you might just ride the wave when you need to, again, have that chaos, so that you can be molded.
That's true. I like that too. Like you said, if you want to see the future, because you'll get complacent, because you'll think all that is destined for me already. So why do I got to put the work in? And you like, which is so true, because everybody see the future like, oh, that's what's destined for me. Bet I can just chill, or that's what's destined for me. I got to put in some more work in. So me, I think I'm mixed about the two. Like, first I was like, yeah, I want to see it, but then your answer right now is like, damn, that is trying to have me thinking like, damn, that is true. Like, you will get complacent, or you will not do what you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to have that time of reflection after you close the chapter and whatever part of your life it is. So I'm still mixed on the two, but at first I was like, yeah, I want to see it, but now you got me like, all right, maybe I need to see it.
Think about like a tree in spring, right? Mm-hmm. All of those leaves are new. They're not old leaves. They're not the leaves from last year that came back. They're brand spanking new. April dropped, boom. They, like, you know what I mean? First life. They don't know that in the fall they're gonna fall off the tree. But they just go through the cycle of life, and they fulfill it in its entirety. So they provide, the structure for, the shade for the tree, the home for the, bird's nest or whatever. They give oxygen out to the people. They clear the air. And it's a very short-lived process, but it's a long life for the tree. And if the tree knows that it's just gonna wilt, the leaf is gonna wilt and die in like what, 4 months, why would it bloom? What would you know what I mean? Like, you would really look like, oh, what's the point? Because you wouldn't even know that you're supposed to serve all of these things in your lifetime. Because you would just be looking at it for yourself.
I really love how you just put that and related the leaf and the tree and really went into depths about it, because that is true. And
I mean,
I feel that 100%.
it's just what came to me, so I just rocked with it. I was like, this sounds good. Let's drop this.
Yeah.
But it's really a beautiful process. And like, sometimes I spend time like looking at, the processes of nature and how it really aligns with us and how we grow. Because in each season, we don't know what will come of it. And in every season, there's a beginning and there's an end of it. So, sometimes it's cool in the beginning of the season. Everybody's excited because you're like, oh yeah, this is it. But there's a process towards the end. Like, you're still that tree. You know what I mean? Like, the roots are still the same. The trunk is still the same. The branches are still the same. But new things have to grow from it every year. And that's the same with you.
You're just shedding your exterior, basically.
Right. Have you ever seen like when they cut a tree down, and that's how they find out how old it is, because they look at all the rings. So it's just like for us, we come into the world and it's trees that's like 100 some years old, 80 years old, but they look like every other tree. They look like the tree they just planted yesterday.
Yep.
But it's serving a purpose and a cycle. So like, that's really your purpose. You're supposed to establish your roots in the place of your purpose, and you serve that community, that area, over and over and over again until we get to the end and they say, wow, when they cut your tree stump, you go back to earth, they look at the rings and they say, man, this tree has been serving us for 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. That's what you want. You don't want to be they cut the tree and they be like, this tree only 2 years old, ain't did nothing.
That's true. All right. We're going to flip the script and hop into getting more details about your brand. I know you just started your brand. Tell us a little more about your brand.
Yeah, sure. So I started my first cut and sew line. I launched it this year in April. It is called L's by Lawren Marie, since everyone asked me about that. But I'm like, just rock with me, because eventually, as we escalate to some New York Fashion Week level, we'll just have Lawren Marie. So then you'll understand, because we'll have two lines going. But really, I just really have always looked at clothing a little different than others. I feel like I was always making adjustments and like thinking about just innovative things. Like, I love materials. I love convertible designs, as people are starting to learn with my summer and fall collection. I really just want people to be able to dress how they feel and also just feel good in whatever they have. So I think that there was an area or a space for me to kind of bring in that type of a themed collection. And I want to serve, multiple body types. So I do have range sizes from small to 3X. And then in each collection, I do a unisex piece, just because I'm definitely a homegirl, so I have a lot of homies. So I was just like, you know what, like, let me throw something out for them. I do like menswear, but I still feel like that's an area that I don't have quite expertise in. So as I grow in it, I kind of want to start small, but I still want that audience. So everything here is made in LA. It's LA based. My manufacturer is local. We're completely, ethical. Even the materials, I go down and I handpick everything. So I'm really excited to be able to just have something that's really hands-on, that's, putting a source of income back into, where I live, in my community, and just seeing where it goes. Like I have a really good feeling about the timing of it all. And I've been waiting 11 years to do this launch. So it was much anticipated. So I appreciate everyone who's supported me so far.
Congratulations. I know it was like a big step taken. Like you said, it was 11 years in the making, but you finally took that leap and made it happen. And from what I've seen, the product photos, I'm like, I love the brand. I love what it's about. I love how you setting up everything, putting out different ads and different launches
Thank
for
you.
it. And I'm like, okay, check Els out. She's doing her thing. So I'm glad it's like you're doing something that you love, though, that you're passionate, that you feel like, yo, I can go 110% with this and put my energy into this because this is for me, this is my baby, versus working, putting that extra 110% into somebody else's dream. So this is you feel like this your purpose, has been your purpose, has been your calling since you said 11 years in the making, but before then, because you always used to carry around the purple spiral notebook, drawing out the designs and everything. So you had the vision was there, but it was just like it was in the back of your mind, and then it started blossoming up as years went on. And you're like, yo, this is what I want to do. I want to do fashion design, and now you're starting to do it. You got your own manufacturer. You based out of LA, and you're doing everything on your own, and you started. I just want to know, what steps did you take to really get it started, get it off the ground?
So the first thing I did was I went back to school. And this was in 2013. So I was a non-traditional student. So I didn't go straight out of high school. I had a couple years, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So what's so crazy is my game plan was I was gonna go to the JUCO and do their fashion merchandising program for 2 years, and then I wanted to go to the #1 fashion design school, which is Central St. Martin's, and that's in London. So I was just like, this is it, I'm doing it. And to make a long story short, I ran into someone I met my senior year in Irvine, and it totally just shifted my whole trajectory. And I ended up going to a 4-year, but I studied art. And I studied business and graphic design at the junior college, and then I went and got a fine arts degree. So what was such a trip was it was just something that was on me so that I would know the business in its entirety. So like I can build all my marketing materials. I can do the marketing research, websites, the posters, the social media, the design. So it was kind of weird how it all lined up, and like no one understood what I was talking about when I said it. I was like, yeah, I do fashion, but I study art and I painted. You know what I mean? Like they were like, what? How does that even
Yeah.
go together? But at the time, people were just starting to get into like putting Illustrator into the fashion programs. So everything was still on paper. And like for some reason I just felt in my heart like, nah, this is all about to go digital, and I want to be able to know how to do it and not have to try to learn it on the back end. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to make myself as competitive as.
I believe we got cut off right where you was discussing how you got started. You said I think we ended up at where you went to did your 4 years. You got your 4 years. You got your fine arts degree, and then after that, it got cut off.
Okay, cool. Well, that was like I was still talking. That's the shame. Uh, so I went to UC Irvine, and I got my fine arts degree there. And the short version of what I had said um, was pretty much I felt like that path was the best option for me, even though it wasn't my original plan, because it made me well-rounded not only as a designer, but as a business owner. And I felt like for whatever reason, I had a little foresight, so that I would learn all these skills to be prepared for this time. So, I can do my own graphics, I can do websites, I can write my, business plans, I can do marketing strategy. But I also, know color theory, composition, construction. So it just all really came together to where, I would be able to float this by myself until I can, get to a point to where I can establish a team. But also when I establish a team, it won't be a mystery. I'll be able to look at the person and say, hey, that's not how you edit something. This is, it's not that,
No, I
kind of
get you
like
though,
that check.
because I get you. Because that's what I like to say too. Like learn a little about a lot, especially when you're starting a business or a brand. You have to know every aspect of the business so you don't get shortchanged when it comes to you hiring the staff members or team members and they don't give you less work than what you know you should receive, as well
Right.
as taking advantage of you. So you got to know like a little bit about everything when it comes to your business, your company. Like you said, you got to know your marketing, you got to know designs, you got to know colors, you got to put out launches, you have to meet with manufacturers, seeing if this is the right material for your product and doing all that right there. So eventually, like you said, when you do grow and get big, you have team members to go out and do that, and that's what they specialize in.
Right. And it really, it was like, honestly, I'm just having a hindsight moment, and like, just to say, like, it was a beautiful setup, because I also, I went to school full time and I worked full time, and every field that I worked in while I was going to school was sales, in some type of capacity, whether I was a manager or I was an account executive. um, so I learned that side of it too. Like, I'm really known to be a really good salesperson. um, but it's just my approach. If you have been following like my brand on Instagram or like the website or the emails, is very much the same. Everyone's like, oh, I like how you just post it. You're not like, I don't feel like you're trying to sell me, and it's because I've never tried to really sell anyone. I'm just
Mhm.
like, hey, this is what it is. You want it or you don't.
Exactly.
And it's cool either way.
No, that's facts. Like you see, that's what it comes down to. It's either one or you don't, because you know the type of demographic or audience you're trying to reach to. You don't have to get everybody to make you feel like, oh, my brand is the number one in the world. It's like, no, I just want to reach my certain audience base, my certain niche, versus trying to expand out of that niche and trying to have it for everybody, because it's not for everybody. It's for certain people. It's like you
Right.
said about yourself. It's an acquired taste.
Exactly. And the best sales advice that I received from one of my managers was that the the best salesperson gets the client to either a yes or a no quickly. And it's because if it's a yes, then you move on, you get to the next yes person. If it's a no, you don't want to waste your time and go find another yes person.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
taking that
for
advice, I'm writing that
all
down.
my salespeople, yeah, because sometimes people try to convince people of stuff, and then you have to deal with. You got to think about it. Like, if you spend all that time persuading someone to buy something, you really are eating up your time on the front end and on the back end, because eventually what they're going to have is buyer's remorse, and they'll be
Mm,
coming back to be like, you know what, never mind, I don't really want this. And then you got to do a whole nother tit for tat, and it
yeah.
just don't be worth it.
Most definitely. I like that. If y'all listening right now, take them notes. That's a good sales tip. Get to that quick yes or no. Don't try
Yeah.
to oversell yourself or oversell it. Like once you get that yes, like bet on to the next yes person. Once you get that no, it's like cool. I ain't gotta waste my time and on to the next person. So
Don't
take
be
that.
afraid to ask them, is it a yes or is it a no? And get off the phone.
Hmm. That's facts. What is your vision for your brand?
So I would actually really love to expand it into a lifestyle brand. So that'll just be like I'll have some body slash beauty products, not so much like into makeup, but more like moisturizers or like shimmers or things that are more like just, I don't necessarily mean like skincare, but in that family.
Yeah.
Um, and I'd like to get into like shoe design. So to a degree, like an all-in-one shop. Um, I don't really see myself getting accessories, so I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. Accessories is not, I'm cool. This takes too much. Bless you. There's plenty of people who make accessories and support them instead. Um, but that would actually be my goal. Like, I actually have a booklet that I've had over the years that has, like, all the random things that I would like to design at some point. Even down to, like, some home good items. I just see it just really expanding and building. So, I'm just enjoying the journey, really. I'm just taking my time because I have a lot to do. Um, Over the span of my lifetime.
I got you. Like you said, you got to enjoy the journey. And I love the vision that you have. You say you want to expand. You're starting in a small area now, but you know the vision is bigger to where you're headed. You just enjoying the process, trusting the process, and taking your time with it and learn every aspect of that. So when you eventually be over over in London, be at the St. Martell's, and they be like, "Dang, we need you to come speak to us." And you're like, "How'd you do it?"
Right.
And be right over there. So I always have that vision ahead in your head too, so know where you're headed instead of just having that, oh, I want to start being in fashion and not knowing where you're going, your direction, your end game. I want to say.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I just, I can't, I don't know. I just can't stress enough, like, how much I'm grateful to God, because he really just gives me, like, the vision. Like, I'm definitely a dreamer. So everything that you see me make, like, I saw it. Like, you know what I mean? I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, this is how they're gonna wear it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't see it like, oh, a picture. I'd be seeing someone out in the street like, oh, okay. And then it can do, and then I add all the little tweaks to it.
Yeah.
Um, so, I strongly encourage other people who are, who have a lot of ideation and, like, come up with all these random concepts, like, download a journal app and just put it in your notes. Like, I have a whole folder of notes that's just business ideas. Like, and it ranges from, you know, um, clothing, shoes, bags. I have a car design in there, just random. I had a bakery in there, like, because you just, like, if you're really creative, you just have a bunch of random ideas, and sometimes it's not really for you to execute. Like, sometimes it's just you're supposed to have the idea, because then once your platform's built, then you'll meet someone and you might be able to sell a business idea, or you might be able to sell a product. So always just keep track of your ideas. Like, just put them down. It doesn't matter if it's a short note, just enough to remind you what it was, because it didn't happen for no reason.
And that's big facts. Like you say, you got to keep that. We all have phones. We all have iPhones, Androids, and everything. It's like you have notes, the notes app in your phone, and we all come up with crazy ideas or creative ideas. And it's like you have to use that. The ideas come to you for a reason. They ain't just like, oh, out of the blue. They're coming to you for a reason because they know eventually you can execute those ideas. It's just like writing those business ideas down. I have tons of business ideas myself in my notes, but that's what you have to do. Like you said, you may not use that idea right now, but you'll eventually come across the path with somebody who can help that idea come to life. So it's all about having them ideas, writing them down. Even when you're sleeping, you first wake up, you any dreams or anything that comes to mind, writing that stuff down, or having that phone next to you, or the notebook next to you. When you randomly wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, damn, I just had this type of dream. Like you said, you dreamt most of your pieces and your designs, and that's from you having that notebook and knowing like, yo, I got to write this down because I know this, I'm gonna utilize this information later.
Listen, and just label them all. Like, I have a business folder, I have a dreams folder, I have a philanthropy folder. Just things that you think that will make a difference. And also, something to be really mindful is, if you're a person who has a lot of monetary ideas, make sure that you set a plan for your service. Like, what are you going to do service wise in life? Because if God has blessed you to have that many ideas that can, shift your generation or create wealth for you and your family, make sure that you have a path to where you take that story and make it a service to others who haven't received, their gift yet, or you may be the person who intersects with them that shifts them on their way. So just
Mm.
keep that that level of responsibility. Don't over glamorize it. And that's something that I constantly tell myself too. Like, yeah, this is cool. I'm getting all these ideas, but you have to know that it has to serve a greater purpose outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Yeah, don't
Mic
be making
drop.
no plans to go on the SpaceX to the moon. Just
Uh,
handle something here first and then go.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, what kind of impact do you want to make on fashion or in fashion?
Honestly, I would like to be one of the like top recognized names. I want
Mm,
to um I want to innovate things that are more um I don't want to say purpose driven, but like um what is the word I'm trying to come up with? They're more like utilities. Like, you know what I mean? Like developing like new fabrics and materials that like take us to the future of clothing. Like I want to be a part of that development.
mm-hmm.
Um and I think that there's a lot of space for it because right now the market is really shifting and addressing in fashion, like underpaid workers and like how people are outsourcing, but the conditions for those workers, you're kind of supporting, child labor, things like that. And some of the bigger companies are under scrutiny. Like people want to have social justice and they want to have ethical products. And I think that there's a means for us to create that change. And especially now, individual designers are becoming very popular because fast fashion is actually impacting our environment because we just are throwing away the clothes and they're on shores, they're in water, they're in landfills. So we definitely have to make some changes on how we approach clothing. Like it's a part of like an entertainment, but there's more to it, you know what I mean? Like what do we actually really need, and what is the cost of what we really need? And I want to create a solution that kind of lessens the, I guess, the like footprint of clothing or fashion that we currently
Got,
have now.
got you, got you. I love it. I'm gonna be here to help you out any way I can.
Thank
You're welcome. You're welcome. We're gonna flip it up, and get to my Fab Five. Fab Five basically is 5 questions, and like top 3 answers of
you. Okay.
each question. My first question is, what is your favorite books?
My favorite books. So I have to admit that I am not a heavy reader. I'm
Oh
a
man.
researcher. I know it's bad. I have a bunch of books, but really the books that I kind of go to more are more informational. They're kind of like textbook forms. So
Got you.
one that I really recommend for anyone who's in fashion is by a company called Fashionary, and they have it's the fashion business manual, and it gives you step by step of everything that you'll encounter. It even gives you language on, like, if you're having a shortcoming here, here's what you could say to so and so to get you to here. um, Definitely a very insightful book. I keep that in my purse, um, just whenever I need to learn something in my field.
Hmm.
I definitely recommend the Bible. That's definitely on my top
Most deaf.
list. um, I will say that I've only made it to Acts, so shame on me. I gotta go on and finish the rest. But I will
Oh
encourage
man.
anyone who hasn't powered through it. Like if you're having struggles, like trying to like focus in on it, something that really helped me because I used to commute from Rancho to Santa Monica. I did that for 2 years and in traffic, peak traffic. So the only thing that got me through that drive and made me a decent person at my destination was Jesus. So I
I
would
love it.
highly encourage, if you can, listen to the Bible on audio. I like it totally was a game changer for me. just play it, because you really get into the stories. You're like, what? They went over there and did it again? Didn't God just tell? I can't. Oh my gosh, you are kidding me. Like, I was in the car doing that, just locked in. And there was, there's stories I'm familiar with because I grew up in church, but it just didn't hit the same. And I was like, maybe it's because you're trying to sound it out and you're trying to get all the names right. Like, you overthink it. But if you could just listen to it and then go back in, I'm telling you, it's the cheat code. Please use it. And really, those are like my two.
No, that most that
Anything
like
else is just
no top two. That's
yeah.
good.
I just got
Those
two.
two, I feel like those two cover a lot of basics, especially when it comes to the Bible and then fashionary, because it's like it covers your field of business, and by the Bible is for life. So those are basically best books for you. What are your top travel destinations?
Ooh, travel destinations. I'm like, man, I'm boring because I really am limited here. Okay, places I really like. So I really haven't traveled out of the country. Was it last year was the first time that I actually got out the country. Um, so I definitely enjoyed, but I'm biased. I definitely enjoyed Cabo, but I went to Cabo, San Jose. So it's like more a resort type of vibe, versus Cabo San Lucas. You get your nightlife, you get your activities, you know what I mean? Like, you just up and going, which is not my travel style. I'm very much, the resort
Introverted.
lounge. I might get up, I might not. Who knows? I'm on vacation.
I got you.
So that's definitely one. I'm trying to think of another place I really enjoyed. I actually really liked visiting Chicago. It was cool. It was a different vibe. It was a city vibe, but it wasn't like too crazy. I was only downtown, but I quite enjoyed it, and I went in January, so it was definitely a cold experience. And then honestly, it's on my to-do list, but I really, 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 and I'm stressing the really's a lot. I really want to go to Turks and Caicos, but
For
I
real.
can't say that it's hidden because I haven't been, but I've heard that it might be. So I'll keep y'all posted on that.
Yeah, Turks and Cakes, that's on my list too, for
I
real.
mean, you see, beaches, beaches and heat.
Yeah, most
That's all I want
definitely.
to do. Put me on the
I got
island.
you. That's funny. Favorite food spots in LA?
Okay, so I'm definitely a soul food person. So for sure, uh, my one is Annie's Soul Delicious. It's in little Ethiopia, which I feel awkward to say because Ethiopia has some internal issues going on with the people of Tigray. So I'm just saying it for the sake of the location, but not in support of anything that is going on. Just to put that out there. Um, and also, please look into that. There's a genocide going on, so just sorry to point that out. So Annie's for sure, and the owner there is so sweet. I have to say, after that is I really love Bossa Nova. A lot of people say
That's
Bossa
my
Nova is
shit.
overrated, but okay, thank you. See, I heard there was some Bossa Nova hate, and I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I will say I really only like the West LA location. The one in West Hollywood was cool, but they just closed it. And unless you're leaving the club, that's the only time I recommend the one on Sunset. Okay,
Yeah.
just keep it cool, keep it safe. It's too much activity up there. I'm sorry to that location. Y'all got to get it together. Um, and then probably my third is really hard. I feel like may not be a three person. I might just be a two and I'm out.
Two and them out. I got you. I see that. Two is good
Yeah,
too. Like you said, Annie's so delicious, is fire. Sounds good, especially being soul food. I'm a soul food enthusiast myself. And then Bossa Nova, you already know what Bossa Nova is like. A great overall Brazilian place.
just loyal, consistent. Everything I touched on the menu, fire. So yeah,
Hmm.
I can't knock it. I'm really about the food. Like any other place I would name, it would be about the ambiance, but the food isn't really slapping. Like I like Paradise Cove in Malibu, but it's because it's on the beach. Like the food is
Okay,
okay,
got you.
but it's not. You're going up there to eat on the beach.
Got you. That's most definitely something about the food. That's why I was like favorite food spots in LA, not ambiance spots, but for real.
Right?
But I'm at the try out Annie's because yeah, that
Please,
soul food is always good.
yeah, and get
What
their peach cobbler. It slaps.
for sure, I'm gonna check it out. What are your favorite affirmations?
Oh, my favorite affirmations. Dang. I really don't think I do affirmations, but
Hmm.
part of me feels like that's not true. I probably just don't do it very intentionally.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm sorry. I always have to laugh because I'm like, you really know me. So I'm like, I do tell people what I'll tell you if I need to tell you, but other than that, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, I probably really affirm like um I would probably say like my kindness. I like remind myself that I'm a kind person of integrity and character. I do what's right. Yeah, this sounds about right. I'm like, ooh, okay, this is my pep talk. Um, I do say that my life will be impactful. It'll serve a purpose. That's hopefully if I don't mess up and I keep doing things right, will be in line with what God's will is for me. And then my third one is kind of weird, but it's because it's just part of my belief system. But I also reaffirm that I will touch all the lives that I'm responsible to impact.
Mm.
So I try to keep that top of mind because sometimes we just have random encounters with people and you don't know what your platform could be. And I guess my greatest fear, like at the end of my life, if I, when they play my DVD or, stream it, I don't know what they're going to have by that time, um, is, him showing me a moment where I missed someone because I was too into myself or not being humble enough to, just see the opportunity to speak or, like sometimes you have that moment where you're supposed to just say something and you don't.
Hmm.
So I try to be very mindful of that because I think that that's why there's multiple of us. Like we're all going to be responsible for some people. And it's not even really a go out of your way. It's just because of who you are and what you know and your experience, what you have to say will create an impact for that person.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I haven't missed anyone so far, but I'm really, locked in to say, okay, if someone needs me and it's appropriately, I'll be there. I got you.
Hmm. I love that. I love the last one because man,
You just never know. Like you could
yeah,
have
it's
two
true.
people, 500, a million. You don't know.
That's true because it's like I'll try to emphasize that too. Like always speak to anybody that and everybody that you see around. Don't just be so concerned or self-consumed in your phone or within yourself that you don't have the right that you don't feel like oh I should don't speak. Even if you say hello, how you doing is like it opens up the door. Like oh I'm doing good or I'm not doing good today. However it is, and you start that spark that conversation. Who knows what that conversation may lead to? But it's like always just opening up and speaking to people around you because we see a lot of people on a daily basis, whether it's at the gas station, the grocery store, or something like that. Like people that's within your view, like speak to them that's walking past, but not somebody that's like 10 miles away. Like oh let me go run and catch them. No, like people with that's
Right.
around you, speak to them, uplift them, and see how you can help them or see how they're doing today. So
Yeah, because you hear that little voice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we all know that be like, you should go over there and, you know what I mean? Like, and you be like, dang, should I? And you like, go over there. You're like, all right.
I had that voice today. I ain't gonna lie, and I ignored it. I was hesitant, and it's like, my last guest was saying like had a quote that he lives by, like you miss 100% of shots you don't take, and he said that relates to life and business because it's true. Because if you don't take that shot to acknowledge somebody or see how somebody's doing, who knows how their life is going to go or turn out. It's like you just got to open up and just communicate.
And that's true. And sometimes it's not even that you may have, a word for that person. They might have the word for you, but all you have to do is say hello.
Mm-hmm.
And they might impart some wisdom on you that may solve your issue or whatever. But it's like it goes back to that faith and that kindness. You know what I mean? Like being genuine and kind really, really is the primary path of a purposeful life.
Facts. My last question for the Fab Five: what are your
Okay.
most used iPhone apps?
Okay. I'd have to go with Instagram. Then I'd probably go with Twitter. Okay, let me look in here real quick. I feel like I don't know what my third one is. I feel like my third one is probably it's a toss up between my emails and
You're like emails. I hear you. Do you feel like when I say most used, do you feel like you're using them like for a purpose, or you're just using them to consume time? If that makes sense.
So really, I feel like Twitter is more leisure for me. But I like, this is like my I want to say it's like my third Twitter. I just want to put that on the record. I was part of the original Twitter. I was there from the 2009 to the 2012. Okay. I just left, but I came back. So it's really just low key. Like I really just kind of like see all the information. I'll say Instagram for me is more productive. And that's just because of how I've cultivated my timeline. So I really am very intentional about following people who are on the same path as me. Like obviously I have people that I've just met through the years, like everyone's on there. But I really tried to focus my timeline by following like all the fashion weeks. I follow other LA based brands that are owned by Black women, who I deem to be like my competitors. So I follow like the actual designer and the brand, just because like I want to be consumed in what it is I do and what's going on around me. So I try to make that very relevant information. And also like, other like design pages, art pages, just so I'm not just getting like, the shade room or like, you know what I mean? Like things that aren't really fruitful for me.
I get you on that too.
So that's kind of like how I keep it. I keep my Twitter pretty low key too. But those are like my main two like go-tos. And then other than that, I'm really very seldom even on the phone. Like I probably say my strong third is probably Amazon, which is just out of sheer convenience. But I will say that but I'm planning on shifting over to and I hope I say this right. It's called Mirai. And it's basically like the Amazon for Black owned businesses. So you can shop anything on there. So I had to shamelessly plug them because they're fire. I'm actually a vendor on there as well. So anyone who purchases through that particular platform, it's an automatic discount because you're supporting Black businesses. And that's very important. Yeah, they're funny. Like, and if you could follow them on Twitter, hilarious. So I'm gonna swap them out to be my third.
Got you, because I haven't heard about them, so I'm gonna for sure hit you up and get the information. But yeah, I like that because I didn't even know that was around. But the Black Amazon and Black businesses, I like that. So for sure, we shopping with them soon. Hopefully, get the creators or whatnot on the show, whoever did that, because that is a brilliant idea.
It's wonderful. It's only one person too, so
Okay,
they're really doing a lot of work. Like even how they have it set up. So much respect to them. They're being impactful and creating a solution for a multitude of people. So
hmm
only good things to come from them.
most definitely. Are we getting down to the tail end of the show? I got like 3 to 4 more questions left for you,
Okay.
and I know you got your day to get on with. Um, my next question is, what is more important, time or money?
Definitely time. Time is you can't it doesn't have a set value, like you know what I mean, to where you can recoup it. Money is everybody can get money.
Hmm
Whether how much money you're getting, that's where we start having that have nots, but everybody has access to money. But time is something that is not decided for you. Or actually time is something that is decided for you. So that's something that we don't know how we don't have a definitive answer on. And really that's where your memories are created from. Like you don't remember, your check from last week or your bank account. Like it's all digital. That's not in front of your face all day. But when you wake up, it's time. When you go meet your friends, it's time. When you go to sleep, it's time. So I definitely highly drive people to make that their focus and decide how they want to spend it, because every second that's going past is a, a moment in time that you can't get back.
That is facts. That is so true, and I agree with you. Time is more important because you can't get the time that you spent back. You only have get the memories out of that time. And when it, like you said, when it comes to money, money is easily accessible, attainable. Like you could get any type of money. Everybody has access to money to get money. So yeah,
Yeah.
is like
Yep.
I asked all my guests about that. Majority of them said time. Only one person said money, which is
Well,
funny though.
money,
But
but money is significant as a tool. It's not
mhm,
really a if we're being really, transparent, money is conceptual. So it's a representation of value. So if it's not applied, it's really not worth anything. So if I have $3 on the table and it's not being spent, they're really worthless because they're just $3 until I go and I purchase something for $3. But
mhm.
the time is moving whether I stop, stop or go.
That's
So,
true.
you know, figuring out how to utilize them together is the wisest thing that you can do, because it's a navigation tool that can circumvent you from wasting time. But if you don't got that, go hard on the time, then the money will come.
Facts. True. Hey, preach. I want to thinking about poetry now. I want to start snapping. I'm like, hey, I feel it. Uh, that's just real true.
Look, I
Um,
was just,
how,
they're both important. I don't want to create this, mystical land. Like, no, no, no. You do need both, but
yeah,
understand the origins and how they function.
that's true. How can I help you?
Honestly, I feel like you already have. Just really just the sheer acknowledgement and the opportunity to be able to speak is a great help. Every new audience is an opportunity for people to find me. And how you found me just by looking at my work really has helped me, because it served as a confirmation that what I'm doing is being seen.
Hmm
Like I'm really in a building mode. So I'm just grateful for the acknowledgement, because, I know that it's gonna come because I'm putting in the work, but it really is touching. So I can't really express like how much gratitude I really have just for reaching out and saying, hey, let's talk.
Most
You
definitely.
never know where to go.
That man, appreciate you because you came on the show and you really dropped knowledge about your journey from start to finish to your journey now through the fashion industry and how and where you see yourself going. And I'm like, It's inspiring. Your story is inspiring from where you started to where you at now and where you're headed. It's like it's inspiring and motivating to people. I know listen right now, I'm like, damn, she did all that, she went through that, and it's like that means I can do it too. And everything you said was uplifting and powerful and impactful. And I'm like, oh, you dropped so much knowledge. I'm like, I'm trying to rewind back in my head, like trying to touch so many bases. And I'm like, man, you just really have to rewind the show, ladies and gentlemen, and be appreciative and grateful for everything she dropped, because you might have to break out the pen and pad and really take the notes on everything she said, because it was a lot of gems and it was a lot of information in the that you came on and really did that. Because at first, like I said, we both was like nervous about, dang, about this interview. Why are we nervous? And then
Right.
it turned out being phenomenal, and I'm blown away by this one.
Yeah, no, this is really great, and I honestly, this is the unforgettable moment for me because this is my brand's first, podcast interview, so it's a big marker for me. It's just the beginning of someone else reaching out to find out more about the story, and like I said, my goal is to touch all the people that I'm responsible for in my lifetime. And if it's just through my story, or if someone hears this and they want to message me, they can, because like my story, my life has a purpose. The things that I
Mm-hmm.
have overcome and like experienced have a purpose that's bigger than myself, and that's something that I know for a fact. So just literally, like the help question, like you already did it, like I can't imagine anything more that you could do. So it's this is what I want. I want to be able to speak to people. I want people to see work and then understand the people behind it, because there's a story to it and you should know. Like, and if people aren't giving you a story, look, double check it.
Double
because
check it.
because it's part of the path. It's part of the path of like people who really do things the right way. They have to overcome obstacles. So if there aren't any obstacles on the journey, usually it's suspicious. I don't want to talk bad on nobody, but I'm like, generally this is the path that's taken. They show the two roads. They're like what
Hmm.
people think is success, and it's a straight line, and then there's what it actually is, and it's all these zigzags and circles.
Yeah, that's really what it is too.
Facts,
It's like
facts.
zigzags and circles throughout the journey. It's obstacles, it's hurdles, it's heartbreak, it's failure, it's no's, yeses. It's like it's just a journey. You just got to prepare yourself for it mentally and physically to be going through it. Because there will be late nights, early mornings. There will be freaking stormy days, sunny days. You just have to embrace it for it and just accept it for what it is, and just know, like you say, you're when it comes to your vision overall, your overall vision, and like what you're gonna have to go through. You see the vision, but you don't see the hurdles, the obstacles, or anything else in the way. You just see the vision at first until you start getting on that journey.
Right.
So
And then I'm sorry, something I was going to add to that is, um, if it's not suspicious, let me put that out there because I don't want to end it on a negative. I will say that if your storyline isn't suspicious, then you need to, and it's just a straight line, it's because the generation before you did the storyline path. So it's important for you to understand the history of the setup so that you could have an easier path. So for me, if oof, I don't even want to speak that, but if there is a generation after me that comes from me, let's put it like that, um,
you
uh,
crazy.
they will have a simpler journey because they pick off where I left off. But
Hmm.
if you are making that setup of generational wealth for your future, then make sure for them to be able to sustain it that they understand the journey to build the foundation.
Hmm.
Because if they don't understand the journey to build the foundation, then it'll crumble because they don't know what it took to keep it or to maintain it. So,
Facts.
and all of us are striving for this, especially, in our community, of African Americans. We're trying to create that generational wealth because we were, in this country, we're at a deficit. We were delayed on our start to be able to get there. But we have a new powerful generation that is self-educating, that is, doing the self-work, that are seeking mental health services. They're determined to find the truth and build something of themselves in their lives. So with that, if you don't have someone to impart that type of wisdom for you, make sure that you tell your story. That is why your story is so significant, because the history is what keeps you from repeating the mistakes. So just, if y'all are all about to be your first generation of millionaires, make sure your children know what it took for you to get there, and don't let them ever forget the story.
I love that.
Sorry, I was
I
like,
love
oh,
that. I love that. I love that.
I was like
My
alternative.
last final question. Where can my audience find you?
So they actually, I have a lot of platforms. Okay, so I'm actually, my personal, I'm on Instagram. So you can find me on Instagram. Leave my Twitter alone. That's my chill space. I'm not saying nothing crazy on there, but I just like to keep it, low key. But for the brand, L's by LM, everything is shop L's by LM. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. TikTok is, I'm learning. That's a learning curve for me. So eventually we're gonna have some TikToks on there, but just support me in the meantime. And YouTube. And YouTube, definitely please follow me on there, because I do plan on doing some like virtual fashion shows. I may begin to do some behind the scenes type of content. So that's why I created the platform, but I haven't announced it yet. So if you're listening, you got the heads up.
Got the inside scoop.
Yeah, inside scoop.
But I love that though, like how you say you're gonna do the virtual fashion shows. That's gonna be dope. I can't wait to see that. I'm gonna subscribe myself to it. Most definitely in support. Man,
I appreciate it.
This episode, I appreciate you coming on though. Like real talk,
Thank you for
got
having
like
me.
man, I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words right now. Man,
we did really good, all things considered.
Yeah, we did. It was a great episode from start to finish. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for sharing your story, sharing your journey, and everything that you've been through, and your growth over the years. I'm gonna be in this episode like 2 to 3 times before it drops. For real, because I'm like, I gotta write out all this information that I received from it, and it's just like great. And it's like I said, you uplift, like your story is very inspiring and motivating, and it puts a lot of things into perspective. You hit on a lot of key points. The one that was really resonating with me from the beginning was the chaos and harmony, because we all go through chaos to find the harmony, and instead of being within that chaos and figuring out what is harmonizing about this chaos. And your journey from your mom was a cosmetologist since the 80s, and you had to grow up in a single parent household, and you didn't let that hinder you or help you from growing. You experienced life through different phases. You was able to do ballet, you was able to do tap, you was able to go to the better schools and within the different communities. And so your life's been blessed from start and still being blessed. And then I'm just grateful for you that you was able to come on today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Like I feel like I keep shamelessly plugging God in here, but like really, that's where the glory goes for me, because I'm like, I've definitely had stages of life where I could have just not been here. So I really appreciate just the opportunity to speak and share my story. Sorry, I'm gonna try not to get all teary. But it really means a lot. Like I know I have like a dry monotone or whatever, but I really mean it. Like, I'm just like, it's big. It's really big, because it just confirms a lot of things. So I appreciate you even noticing me, or following that voice that told you to to pick me for the show. And I'm glad we were finally being able to get our schedules together to do this, because I was excited from the jump. Like, I really was like, really, me? You want to talk to me? For real? I felt cool. I'm like, I need to get those the cool emoji shades. I'm wear those all week now. Like, yeah, I was on the podcast.
Most definitely, I got you. And we're gonna do a part 2 for sure. We're gonna, I say part 2 is gonna be, we're gonna dive into mental health, because this one was just introducing yourself, introducing your brand. But I do want to get into the your mental health, everything, being aware of mental health, as well as the emotional purge of everything you went through during. This is just part 1, ladies and gentlemen. So be on the lookout for part 2 coming soon.
I'd love to come back. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Look, I'm like, yeah, okay, y'all get your tissues.
For real, that's gonna be an emotional episode. I already feel it, but it's gonna be a great one.
I'll compose myself. I'll throw a little, like, all right, here we go.
Funny.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me. Really, I appreciate it. I hope everyone has the opportunity to check out my brand. If you like it, follow, or tell a friend, and reach out to me if there's ever any questions. Like, right now, I'm a one-man show or one-woman show, but I'm the person in the DMs. I'm the person, in there. So if you have a comment, question, like, just hit me up. Like, that's how I want my brand to be. And just, you have access to the source. So I'm here to really serve you through my clothing. So let me know.
Like that. Mic drop. We out.